Hello, friends, and welcome to another episode of TV is Our Real Mom. I'm your host, Dave, and as always, I'm joined by my co-host, my sister, Catie.
Hello, and happy holidays.
Indeed. Merry Christmas to everyone out there. How late are we? Are we pretty late on this? How many days has it been?
About 4 days, but I was sick. I didn't really have a voice, and I also wanted to let my anger dissipate before we did this.
Right.
I like to get angry on the podcast, but I was beyond.
And we had Christmas Eve and
yeah,
Christmas
and it was
Day.
Christmas. We were with family, so I mean, it's allowed. It's fine.
So yeah, here we are. We made it, within a week. That's good.
Yeah, that's pretty good. It's better than we've done some cases this season. So.
Right. So here we are to talk about the season finale of Heroes versus Healers versus Hustlers. We've been talking about it all season long.
Yeah.
We pre-gamed. We, hyped it up, and we finally have our winner. And the winner is Ben Dreeben.
Not the audience.
Not the audience. So, Catie, how do you feel about this season?
I almost feel bad for him because he's going to get a lot of shit, perhaps more than any winner ever. But I don't feel that bad for him. I think he sucks as a winner. So there you go.
Okay, so no love lost for Ben for you.
No, yeah. I don't think he played a good game. You can say he played a good social game at the beginning, but let's not forget Chrissy sought him out. That was not him that made that call. Let's not forget when he did merge with everybody, he made himself a giant target and emerged as a dictator, and people didn't like that. And he made himself a target. And from that point on, it was just evading and falling into, strategy. Like when he fell into Lauren's strategy, when he fell into being a special agent. None of that was his person making that stuff go ahead. He was just a willing participant. And beyond that point, from JP from Lauren, when Lauren went out, from that point on, his game was terrible, other than finding idols. So I don't know. To me, I feel like the jury wanted to reward an underdog who put on a show. And I can't sit here and say that I think Chrissy played a good social game because I've been bashing her social game all season. So I understand voted for Ben over her. The point is, Ben should not have been in that final three. End of story.
Right. And okay, so why are we freezing up? Okay,
sorry.
Does that happen often?
Yeah, it does.
On your
it
end?
does.
Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Those big time freezes, huh?
Yeah.
Okay.
Apologies.
So what do you think about Ben finding all these idols? What are your thoughts on that?
I don't want to be the person who throws Survivor under the bus and they were planted or whatever, but I went into this finale prepared for disappointment. I was like, Ben or Chrissy will probably win, and I'm okay with that. What I don't want to happen is another idol and some type of advantage that just screws things up. So my worst fears for this finale came to fruition. That third idol, it said dig here. I just, the other people could have followed him and they should have, but it's just same thing over and over again and substitute that for actual strategy and gameplay.
Right. I mean, how hard is it? Do you give him any credit for like the effort he put in to find these idols?
I mean, it was dark. That couldn't have been easy.
Yeah.
But he just went right on. I mean, it's been working for him. He comes home from tribal council. He immediately goes to look for another one. It's been working for him, so why wouldn't he keep doing it? I just think it shouldn't be an option. Especially with the bullshit they pulled at Final Four, an idol should not have been playable at Final Five.
Right. Like we said, these are get-out-of-jail-free cards.
All of them. He got like 5 get-out-of-jail-free cards.
Yeah, and at a certain point, I think you just have to draw the line and say, this is too much, this is too many. This guy isn't winning the game in a fair way, and we have to draw the line. We have to cut him loose.
Yeah.
So there's been a lot of talk about how, you mentioned that Ben will go down, kind of have a bad rap because of winning. Do you think he would be remembered more fully if he had gone out in the 4th spot as a fallen angel?
Absolutely. That was his destiny. CBS and Jeff Probst, who I am mad at, came in and they messed with destiny. It's like they got a DeLorean and came back and changed the shape of things how they were supposed to go.
Right.
Because they so desperately, for some reason, wanted this mumbling cowboy who goes like this, and somehow that's entertaining.
You mean a Ben bomb?
Whatever. I'm not even gonna use that word. For some reason, they clearly wanted him to be the winner. I don't care what you say. They wanted him to win.
Yeah. Never before has it felt so much like they had an outcome in mind and they just kind of nudged it in that direction.
Yeah.
With just the fact that they kept hiding idols all the way up to 5. I mean,
9 idol plays this season.
Yeah, devil's advocate though, is that something they would do in any season? Would they just keep hiding them every single time if they're playing?
I think they have out so many times where someone like a Malcolm has gone out at 4. David Wright went out at Final 4. Suri going out at 6, but that was because of advantages. But Suri also went out at Final 3. So I think they were nudged along by the... I mean, Ben was a target forever. You can't tell me that the prospect of Ben as a target did not have a factor in them finally putting this into play. If it is something they've discussed in the past, fine. I honestly don't think they knew they were going to put it in at the beginning of the season because they would have told the cast.
Right.
And should have. If they did know it was coming, they should have told the cast.
Right. So why Ben? Why is Ben the guy they want to win this season?
Because he's like the hardworking guy. He's got the family to support, which everybody has a family to support. It doesn't make you more deserving than anybody else to get to the end. It's not, to me, it's not an argument to win. And he, you know, he has a good story, and they saw the impact a good story can have with maybe the Zeke thing and the Adam thing. So the past 2 seasons, they've had these amazing stories that have just kind of happened. They weren't forced to happen, you know. But now they just wanted to repeat that, but they did it by meddling with the integrity of the show in a way that I don't know they can recover from.
That's I don't know, man. But yeah, I do think that if they were nudging the season in Ben's direction, it does come down to the PTSD thing. They saw this as a chance. They saw this as like an issue they could sort of really play up, and because for some reason Survivor suddenly feels like it has to be bigger than the game itself, and it has to like have some cause that it's behind. And they wanted to encapsulate this season in the PTSD awareness thing. And I don't want to take anything away from that in and of itself.
That's not what we're saying here.
But yeah, to give Ben so many chances just because they wanted him to. And that's the thing. We don't really know for sure if this is true. But like it's how it feels to us. Yeah. And that's why we're like disappointed. Season.
Well, like the stuff that the story moments that are so powerful on Survivor are powerful because they just happen naturally. Like the Zeke and Brett conversation in Millennials versus Gen X, Adam and his mom. Those things happened organically. They were not something that Jeff Probst cooked up when he was, I don't know, in his bubble bath drinking freaking beer or something.
Chardonnay.
I don't even know. But this felt like they just tried to force something. And to me, it was hammered home by the short this ridiculously long and detailed montage of Ben's game, and how them having 20 minutes to go and still focusing entirely on Ben and not giving anyone an opportunity to perhaps play this twist, which they had every right to. Chrissy and Devin especially. Even Ryan has, you know, it screwed him too.
Yeah.
Screwed everybody but Ben.
Yeah. No, that is interesting to know that this finale was dramatically different than any finale we've ever seen before.
Coincidence?
And you have to wonder, like, yeah, why was it? Why were they doing what they were doing? So much of the finale was spent where it felt like Jeff was trying to debate. He was like trying to convince us. He's like,
Ben,
listen,
he's the best winner ever.
He deserves to win. Let me show you why. And they give us a clip show of him
and
his whole game from day one. They never did
that isn't even his game. They try to give more credit than he deserves for Lauren's plan. That was Lauren. That was all Lauren.
And the spy.
That was Devin's idea. Yeah. He just played the role. Like he was not an active agent in much that went on in this game, other than hitting home that he wants to get Cole out, which I think was, you know, ridiculous how hard he went after Cole. Like, that made him more of a target. And if you have this great story that no one wants to sit with you at the end, don't tell it to anybody. You know, come in and say you're a construction worker and yeah, you have kids, but whatever, it's fine.
I think Ryan did actually get to call Ben out, didn't he, for the Cole thing? Like, basically, you know, Ben tried to say, like, oh, I saw Cole as a big target, that's why I wanted him out.
But no, he had to be nudged. He had to be nudged. He didn't even come up with that on his own.
Yeah.
He said, after someone suggested it to him, he said, yeah, Cole, that was strategy. I wanted you out because you were a threat. When that's bullshit.
That
he
is
just
bullshit.
Didn't like Cole from the beginning.
No, he was irritated by the food situation. And I think, yeah, they just didn't get along in general. And that was the real reason. And Ryan kind of started to argue that. And then the jury just wasn't on Ryan's
side. The jury was
side.
there for Ben. They were like, tell me how I to vote for you. They didn't even like what he was saying. Joe was like, come on, Ben. Basically, this is what he said. I came here wanting to vote for you, but you're making it kind of hard. Give me a reason. And so he goes into his story, which has nothing to do with his game. But that's it. That got Joe's vote. That convinced him enough. And Chrissy nailed it at Final Tribal Council.
She did pretty well, although I do think she was being kind of petty. Like, everything was about throwing everyone else under the bus. She was a little too aggressive in the finale there. I mean, there's probably a better way she could have gone about arguing her case. But I think at the end of the day, yeah, there's nothing she could do. It was game over.
They were there on the defense. They were not expecting to be there with Ben, and they shouldn't have had to go there with Ben. The producers made them go there with Ben. And they were, you know, on the defense ever since that moment. She opened that freaking note. You know she was pissed. But
yeah, I mean, Chrissy won final immunity, and somehow she doesn't get to vote out the person. She's got the votes all ready to get him out, too.
Yeah.
And she won the challenge, and she doesn't get rewarded for it at all. Like, what's the point of winning the final immunity
challenge? That completely is from seasons of Survivor. Like, how could they have anticipated that? If they had told him at the beginning of the season that vote where Lauren went out, or where, I'm sorry, Joe goes out, where they debated getting rid of Ben, they probably would have gone the extra step and said, yeah, because Final Four is too late, because he can have a chance to make fire. So we just got to get rid of him now.
Right.
I mean, I'm not saying 100% they would have, but it probably would have played a factor in their decision.
Right. Yeah, they didn't know the rules, so they couldn't do anything about it.
They didn't know the rules.
Yeah. Ryan, you know, his game the whole season, and as a final contestant, do you think he deserved to win it all?
I thought he played a really solid game up until the merge, and then he just kind of, you know, I think he saw how in your face he and Ben were, and he decided to hang back, and he did play a very social game. Apparently he wasn't the face of strategy, and so it didn't work for him. People liked him, I think, but you know, that's not enough. You have to put on a show.
Yeah, and I don't know. I don't think people liked him as much as we thought.
Maybe.
Or they would have voted for him.
Maybe, yeah.
And yeah, I do think the thing that hurt Ryan the most, and I think he articulated this himself in his exit interviews, like red carpet interview, that, you know, he was taken by Chrissy at the end.
Yeah.
You know, it made him look like he had no agency whatsoever. He's like, and I won immunity, so I'll pick you, less threatening person that I'll take along to the end. And so that makes him, I don't think he had a chance after that, going into that style. If he wins final immunity himself, I think he has a better shot.
Or if he was able to make fire and beat Ben, that would look good in front of the jury.
But the problem is, it's you can't trump the surprise hidden immunity idol. It's like,
well, yeah, because the jury sees that.
Ben played 3 of those things in a surprise fashion that no one sees coming, and, you know, his ass.
Yeah.
And there's nothing, you know, finding hidden treasure, as you say, but just for some reason that's what gets rewarded.
Because the jury sees it. I don't get it either. They don't see an immunity challenge. Like, they didn't see how crazy that final immunity challenge was. Maybe if they had seen it, they would have been like, damn, Chrissy, maybe that mad respect for that. But they don't see it. All they see is the necklace, you know? And I really am also angry that Ben is getting all this credit for playing 3 immunity idols correctly. He was the target on all of those tribal councils. There was no one else he should have played that immunity idol on. And he only, out of those 3, got his target out 1 time. He did not get his target out those other 2 times because people played better than him. So people that say Ben played an exceptional game.
Right. The fact that Ben played these idols by keeping them a secret, that's where I'll give him credit, because like
he had to keep it a secret for a day.
Yeah, but I mean, he did it.
Yeah,
he was able to keep it a secret and play him so that nobody, he convinced, like, he's like, I'm voting Ben. There's no way he's finding another one. There's no way. Granted, Devin should be right. He shouldn't be able to find another hidden immunity idol. But anyways, if Ben deserves any credit, I guess it's the played them in secret, and no one saw them coming. So good for him for that, I guess.
That's it.
Also, at any point were you on board with the finale? Like,
I thought it was really good up until the final twist.
Right, up until
that Devin
up until
move?
You found out what the twist was.
Yeah. I was done.
Yeah,
I was done. Never have I shut off my TV before during Survivor, period, let alone a finale. But I shut it off after that, in the middle of that fire making challenge, when it was clear that Ben was going to have no trouble building a fire easily. I shut it off.
So you shut the TV off. Did you watch?
I turned it back on.
You turned it back on.
Okay. I turned it back on. I didn't want to see Devin get his torch snuffed because I thought it was bullshit reasoning for him to leave.
Mm-hmm.
I turned it on when he was on the stage with Jeff, and then I watched the final tribal council, and once I saw what the reunion was, I shut it off. It was nonsense.
It was a ridiculous
reunion. If I were pre-jury, I'd be like, what the hell did I come out here for? Like, why am I even here?
Mm-hmm. They didn't even have enough in that reunion show of just Ben stuff. Like, Ben's a great winner. They didn't even have enough of that, so they actually spent more time hyping next season 2. It just basically filled in the time with anything but talking to the contestants.
Yeah, and don't you think that's suspicious?
I definitely think
it's all suspicious. Super shady. And I don't want to not like Survivor. I don't want to be mad at it and accuse it of this, shadiness, but I can't help it. It's like all there in front of my face. It's everything I didn't want to happen to make me believe in Survivor happened. And so I have to question it. And I really think Jeff Probst is getting too obsessed with moments, big emotional moments. Like the emotional payoff, I don't even think was worth the chicanery. What's that a word? I don't know where that came from.
Chicanery?
I don't even know what that is.
Oh, I'd love to look that up.
The manipulation and the craziness that they put into helping Ben win, and the emotional payoff. In the room, they said it was amazing, but on TV, it did not play off. It was embarrassing.
Yeah. I can't get on board with it.
I can't. It's Survivor. I don't want to be mad at it. I'm very mad at it.
So let's talk about Devin for a bit.
Yeah, okay.
Let's talk about that move where he.
That was an outside of the box move.
It was. He knew. He just
listened to his gut.
Yeah, he felt the instinct that Ben. He's like, damn, that guy does have an idol, doesn't he?
Yep.
He didn't have to be told.
Even when he was saying earlier, there's no way he has an idol. But when you've been fooled twice before. Who's to say you can't be fooled again? And he was the only person. Like, I couldn't believe Chrissy and Ryan, after how many times they were like, oh, he doesn't have one. I'm like, girl, he's done it to you 2 times before, and you really think he can't do it again?
Right.
And Devin was the only one to use his instincts, to listen to his instincts.
And that was an amazing move by him. And
needed to do to get to the final 3.
Yeah, he
played the game, the social. He was under the radar enough where he wasn't like Ben, like, woo, I'm gonna win, vote me out. And he had the relationships. Even when Ashley voted him out, or not, Ashley didn't vote him out. Lauren got voted out, and he just had Ashley, and he no longer had Lauren in her extra vote. He went along with Chrissy and Ryan, and he made another final 3 with them. He, secured himself. Ben never did that. Ben relied solely on the idols, and to me, it's not like Malcolm, who in his own lost because of his own. That happened. That was his Survivor destiny. Mm-hmm. I don't feel like this was Devin's Survivor destiny. I feel like Jeff Probst came in and messed with fate. Things up. That's why everything just feels off and screwy and not right.
Yeah. So with us, basically, that this twist at 4 or whatever it was is here to stay. So, so yeah, I kind of feel like the reason they say that is because they knew they needed to lean into it. After this took place, they're like, the only way we're gonna live this down is if we keep doing it, like we were committed to it. We're not gonna admit that this was, unfair and stupid.
Yeah, but to me, it's revealed that they told the players on Ghost Island about this at the beginning. To me, that suggests they know they screwed up, and they didn't know they were going to do it at the beginning of this season 35.
Right, yeah, they didn't know.
And even if they did, they didn't tell them, and that was a major misstep on their part.
Right.
So they know something was not right with it, yet they're playing it off in the finale as if the fact that Ben's a good guy and has 2 kids and, has this good story makes up for all that. But you can't blind me, Jeff Probst. I'm not your casual little, yay, Ben, winner, which I know a lot of people are, but that is not me and people who watch this podcast. So it's really depressing.
Yeah, it is.
I mean, I think Ghost Island seems cool. Don't get me wrong. And he has said that most of the people on next season are fans and super fans. So I'm going to, I'm not going to stop watching Survivor. And I'm going to, go into Ghost Island hopeful that they'll figure this twist out. If there's a Ben there at Final 7, they're not going to let him get to Final 4. They're just going to, write his name down every time and follow his ass. So,
right.
Dr. Mike said a good thing about how if they're going to pull this crap every Final 4, idols need to stop at Final 6 because you shouldn't have a free get out of jail free card at every single vote. Right. You shouldn't just be able to shyster your way to the end.
Yeah. Well,
build a fire to the end and have idols.
Yeah, I don't know. It's the idols thing that bothers me the most about it.
Yeah, because if the idols wouldn't have been there, this twist wouldn't have mattered. It would have been Devin versus Mike or Mike versus, I don't know, it would have been something like that.
Right. Okay, so our dad had an awesome idea, and I want to share this with
and
the
he's
people.
As casual as they come. He barely watches.
Yeah, and I want to put this on the record. This podcast is going on the record that this is my idea, stolen from our dad.
It's our dad's idea.
So it's our idea. And here's the thing. I'm guessing this idea has already been said before. I haven't heard it.
There's a lot of shit out there.
If I heard it, I forgot, But I just thought it was an awesome idea, and I couldn't believe it because, Dad is such casual.
Yeah.
He doesn't usually even watch.
He doesn't know their names.
He just has to sometimes because mom will make him or something.
Yeah.
But, but yeah, so Dad has this idea. You not only hide immunity idols out in the wild, but you also hide an anti-idol. You hide something that when you find this thing, you can play it to negate a hidden immunity idol, someone else's. And so there would be different ways you could play this thing, like different rules about it. That's something we'd have to think about and workshop, you know. But I'm thinking, you could. You don't know if someone's going to play it. You have to play it on a specific person. So you would have to kind of have an inkling of who you think has it, play it on that person.
Just like the idol. You have to read the room and know where it's going to go.
Right. And you also play it after, even if for example, Ben pulls out an idol and puts it around his neck, you can still play that anti-idol on him and be like, sorry, buddy. Boom,
that idol's not working tonight.
And after he outed himself as having it and you negated it, you could go ahead and vote that person out if you wanted to.
Yeah.
And I think that's
if we're messing with the game. Yeah.
Yeah. So for every idol, there would be an anti-idol. So CBS, go ahead and take that idea. I think it would be sweet, but just make sure you give us credit for it. That's all I'm saying.
I also, first of all, CBS is not watching this. And if you are,
they will.
You suck.
They'll watch it.
And second of all, I also think something to implement would be a cap on idols. Like only so many idols can be played in a season. Like let's say 5. Even that's kind of a lot.
Yeah.
But more, conservative or more cautious when you're going to use your idol. It can't be like, Ben, I got an idol. Boom, I'm going to go with another one. Boom, There's a cap. If 5 idols have been played, that's it. No more idols. Play Survivor the way they played it at the beginning. The first 10 seasons,
Right.
It's not terrible. Those seasons are awesome mostly.
Yeah, so, I don't know. It's tough to say if you could have a completely traditional season of Survivor and have it still be interesting. I'm guessing.
I mean, the idols are good, but this is the most idols. I mean, I don't know. The stats are not in front of me, but I'm guessing 9 is the most idols ever.
Has to be. This upset about
it. There's only 5 episodes that don't have idols then being played or thrown in the fire, I guess. Right. So there's 14 episodes. I guess you had 2. There's almost as many idols as there are episodes of the season, is what I'm saying.
Right.
And that's stupid.
Right.
You don't need an idol to be an interesting episode. But I feel like they've lost faith in the show a little bit because think about advantages too. In counting that, there were at least 3 advantages, and then the end or whatever it was. That's 4. That's 9 plus 4 is 13. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's too much weirdness in the game.
It just throws it, and I know it's like anything can happen, but this all felt very Big Brother to me, and I don't like that. I like my Big Brother and my Survivor to be 2 different things, and this felt a little in the middle.
Yikes. Yeah, that's no good.
That's no good. You do not want that.
Yeah.
Survivor or Big Brother should aim to be like Survivor, but Survivor should never aim to be like Big Brother.
Amen. Preach.
I mean, I'm ready to not talk about this again, ever. This is not a season I will rewatch.
Yeah.
For many, many years.
Yeah, if ever.
I mean, it might come down to it where the way the game is, the Final 4 fire making challenge, which it's fun when it happens organically, when someone wants to force a tie. But now it's just they're making it happen.
Right.
And that's messing with the game.
Right. I agree. So, you want to talk about Chrissy at all? Or have you kind of said what you want to say about her?
I mean, I don't know. What do you think about Chrissy's game overall?
I think you pretty much covered it. Her social game was lacking. To spout out facts about
Yeah, apparently what she said about Joe was bullshit.
Oh, he lied to her about that?
Well, they must have edited it. They showed him nodding and stuff, but apparently that was just she pulled it out of her ass.
So that's not true that his parents are divorced?
Well, it's coming from Joe. Joe's a big troller. I don't know. Joe's really and Reddit fire, and it's kind of a gross look on Joe.
Yeah.
But I still think, there did come a point where she was just throwing out facts. I'm like, okay, Chrissy, do you want them to give you $1 million because you can relax? Like, you're a math person. Of course you can remember dumb shit.
Yeah. Maybe Joe just doesn't want it out there that he has no interest in marriage, because
he's married.
He's married?
I'm fairly certain he's married.
Then what the hell was Chrissy talking about?
I think she was full of shit.
Okay. Okay, I'm confused.
Yeah, but what Joe was defending was why they didn't vote for Chrissy. From that tribal council performance, in my opinion, Ben botched it big, and Chrissy did a fairly good job.
Like it, yeah.
And to me, Chrissy, in some aspects played a better game. Her social game was not good, but neither was Ben's. He even got called out for having a horrible social game, So right. It's like he can't even hang his hat literally on that. So but like I said, I've been bashing Chrissy all season, and I've said her social game sucks, so I can't sit here and say they should have voted for her.
Well, I just think Chrissy had a lot of agency in the game.
Yeah.
She has everything that you are saying a winner should have.
She did. I was rooting for her at the end.
By the end, you're rooting for her, yeah, because here's someone who played the game the way it should be played. You're paying attention to social dynamics, whether you're good at, getting people to like you or not. At least you're aware of all that, and you're trying to find inroads any way you can, and you're winning challenges. So real quick, does winning challenges make you less of a winner? Because winning challenges and getting immunity that way is very similar to finding a bunch of hidden immunity idols and making yourself immune all the way. So what's the difference between those two things?
I think the jury sees one and they don't see the other.
They see
but they also want to root for an underdog, like Adam said in the Rob podcast earlier this week. Mike Holloway won by winning immunity challenges because he was the underdog. Ben won by finding idols, and he was the underdog. I want the jury to be better than just voting for the underdog. To me, that implies they're letting all their personal things and their desire to like dictate who wins, you know?
Right.
And that's dumb, you guys.
Yeah. I mean, I thought Ryan played a deserving game. But you know, I don't know if I'm really looking at it objectively. I think Chrissy deserves to win the most. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. I was pulling for her.
Yeah, I mean,
I even thought when they were reading the votes, I thought she had it.
But... Yeah, yeah. So
I was mistaken. I think Desi really hated her. Cole
hated her.
I guess, hated her.
I'm pretty sure everybody hated her.
Joe hated her.
Yeah.
Lauren didn't like her. Lauren had a tight relationship with Ben. And who's the other person that voted for Ben?
I don't know how the votes went.
Oh, Cole, Desi,
Mike,
Lauren,
Mike, Devin, Lauren.
Mike voted for Chrissy. Ashley voted for Chrissy. Devin voted for Ryan.
Yep.
We're missing one. We're missing one. Who are we missing?
I thought there were 7 jurors.
There's 8 jurors.
Is there really? Are you sure?
Who the hell are we missing? JP. Of course, we're missing JP.
Yeah.
He voted for Ben.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
So can we talk about JP for a minute? No.
No.
Did he get any? He said a couple things in the
No, I don't think so. Travel. I think he just went. Yeah, that's like what he did. Yeah.
Yeah.
Seth. It really seemed like Joe or Cole and Desi took their King and Queen of Ponderosa because they seemed to be guiding the conversation.
Okay.
Like they were like the foreman of the jury.
They were there the longest, so they felt like, oh, we're in charge here.
Even though they had the least to do with the game that ended up being.
Right, yeah. It's kind of funny how that works out, huh?
Yeah.
Dr. Mike could have won.
Nope.
I have to agree.
Dr. Mike is on another level.
Do you think Dr. Mike will get to play again?
Honestly, I hope not. I didn't see I mean, him and Joe were funny, but what the hell game did he play? It
was pretty sporadic. He really seemed to think he was playing a pretty sweet game, though.
Poor sweet Dr. Mike.
Okay. What do I want to talk about with the finale? I have some notes here, but I actually only took notes on like the first hour.
Why is that? Because you were disgusted by the way that it was going?
No, to be honest, the way I felt about it, like I was pretty into the finale episode. I was like really enjoying myself. Good. Yeah, so like we shouldn't forget that it was an entertaining episode up until, you know,
but like if you're completely negated it.
Yeah, if you're invested in this season and you care about who wins and the way they do it, and you're on our side, yeah. Like you're disappointed.
Not everybody is.
You're disappointed by the time this thing is over, but I was thoroughly entertained in the first, couple hours or whatever.
I just had this sinking. I thought the advantage was going to be for Final 5, and when it wasn't, I was like, "Oh shit!"
Here we
Final
go.
4 is not a place where you want any advantage. It's not fair to be an advantage at Final 4.
Like that for Michelle, wasn't Michelle?
Yeah, but all she got to eliminate a juror.
And she eliminated Neil, who would have voted for Aubrey.
But she still wouldn't have won.
I don't think
she still would have won.
Yeah, I don't think the numbers were there. I'm pretty sure about that. But I was saying I enjoyed the episode quite a bit, and I actually was turning around on Ben in the moment where they did a really good job of selling him as like everyone else is kind of like being bullies and how they think they're pulling a fast one on him.
Yeah.
Like Chrissy with
that was comical.
It was comical and enjoyable. And you definitely did. I was rooting for Ben in that moment because
also rooting to write Mike's name down though. Weren't you?
Yeah, no, definitely. Like I really hoped for that moment, and it was awesome to see that happen. Mm-hmm. But yeah, they did a good job of selling me on that. I was turned around on Ben. I was like, yeah, this is, but when it came down to that twist, I think that's where it kind of lost me.
Yeah.
And yeah, the finale or the reunion really left a bad taste in my mouth.
Mm-hmm.
That's when I really got off the Ben train. But
when I actually turned it off.
For a second, they had me on the Ben train where I was like, I'm kind of okay with this. Like the way he's like, they think they have you know, they're pulling a fast one on him, and he's gonna get them.
And like
that's fun.
And like our sister said, Jeff basically called Chrissy out and said, "Do you think she's gloating, just making her look terrible in front of the jury? She did look bad, but." Didn't think that Ben had another idol.
Exactly, like you said, Ben gloated all the time.
Yeah, and if he hadn't found that idol already, it would have worked. It would have worked.
Right, and Probst never called out Ben like
for his smugness.
Hey, you're gloating, man.
Or, no, Probst loves that shit. He's just getting old.
Maybe he's just, I don't
know. He's been labeled with that many times. I've always kind of defended him, but
we could talk about that a little bit too. Is she another victim of this mom thing? Could the mom win in that position? I mean,
Denise did.
Tina did a long time ago, though.
But they didn't come off. You know, Chrissy kind of dug her own grave with some of her actions towards the other behavior. People. Like even Ashley, who was completely Team Chrissy at the final tribal council. Like Chrissy had even her in a tribal council, and it was just weird. And you know, she'd said things about all the people that were there, and I don't know, you know, what she was thinking when she said she played a good social game. You didn't.
Certainly not the case.
So I can't blame her loss just on this rigging, but yeah, I do think that older women especially have a harder time, and for some reason, Jeff Probst, if it's like. He hyped this finale as the best ever. And like I said last week, this is just a way of him saying Ben's going to find a way to win. And like, typically if you have a female winner, it's like an awesome season. I mean, maybe there's exceptions to that, but like, it just seems like he doesn't care for that.
Do you have a sense of the general public, how they feel about this finale? Like you said, you said that Jeff, you know, hypes this as the best finale ever. Are there actually people out there who can corroborate that, who agree with that man, this was the best finale ever? Or
like I can go by what my casual friend who I text every week during the show, she was cheering for Ben to win. But she wasn't like, oh my God, that was the most amazing episode ever. Like I don't think she really cared.
She really wanted Ben to find.
By the end,
she wanted Ben to find idols, and
she's casual. Like I said, she doesn't.
Such a casual. But if she's casual, she's representative of probably the majority audience. So most people probably ate this shit up, I guess.
I mean, I know the people in the room did. I know, it's upsetting. I just want people to be better, you know. The bullshit. Come on. I know we're not the only ones. This was nonsense and tomfoolery, and it was not Survivor. And that's all I have to say.
Yeah, I'm just looking at my notes here. I don't really see, you know, anything that really needs to be. Do you think Devin could have done anything? The fire making challenge, would practicing help him at all? Like if he would have kept practicing, because he breaks Flint, he ends up lying down and basically saying, I'm just gonna like chill out and try to save my energy.
Devin, that's like his way of handling things. Like you can't ask someone to be someone they're not, you know?
Right. I'm just wondering if you think that if he had practiced, would that have helped him beat Ben?
If he had known that it could come down to this, he probably practices fires more. And not that you saw him make a beautiful fire at the beginning of the episode. It all comes down to pressure in the moment.
I have a theory. What
are you going to say?
I think they put some stuff.
I know it. They did. I'm telling you. In a fire.
He had tons of magnesium in there. He's making sparks and nothing's catching. His shit won't catch.
Oh, I was going to say I thought they rigged Ben's to just because.
Maybe both.
Because never in a fire making. I've never seen the first catch up that quick. They always have to start again.
Well, I think they stunted Devin's and made Ben's ignite faster.
You know,
they rigged it.
Why not?
Yeah, why couldn't they have? They rigged Ben to get that far. So, I don't know. Maybe we're crazy, man. Maybe we're crazy.
But it's not. It pisses me off when people say Survivor would never do that. But it's like, how do we know that? Show me the proof.
You know what I need to see? Even this wouldn't totally convince me. But somebody mentioned they should post a video of like 7 hours, because you know they're following Ben around with cameras. give me the footage. Post the footage of Ben hunting in the jungle for 7 hours straight. Let me see that, and maybe I'll believe that. Okay, he did look for it. They shouldn't have even been hiding this many in the first place. He didn't. It just wasn't fair to keep putting them back out there. So that still doesn't really matter. I'm just saying, like, prove that they didn't just say, Ben, it's over there. We hit it there, you know. And when he's about to give up, don't give up, dude. It's right there.
I want to see proof of them.
Like that, the crew's like, dig.
I want to see proof that they had this twist lined up at the beginning of the season.
I don't think that exists.
I don't think it exists. Just throwing that out there.
We're crazy, but like, I don't know.
Someone has to be the people that don't hold back, you know? Like, I'm not going to sit here and defend Chrissy like some podcasts and say she got robbed. I'm saying this was Ben. There's no way Ben could lose.
It was rigged, yeah.
Ben was never going to lose this season.
No.
Ever. On their watch.
Yeah, and they just saw an opportunity to bring in Ben's, military buddies or whatever.
Which is a powerful moment, and it would have been even more powerful if it was an earned victory. But
why not just bring him in anyways?
Why did he have to win?
Fourth place.
They could have brought him.
The issue still could have been addressed.
You don't have to be a winner to be like, oh, I overcame PTSD to do really well in this game that I would have won. You know, think of all the different winners we'd have if this bullshit twist had existed from the beginning. Or, you know, even 10 seasons ago. We'd have like 5 different winners.
Yeah. And also, like, Ivor is like the opposite of what you need to get over PTSD. Yeah. It's like, why is it Survivor's cause to help with PTSD? Survivor causes PTSD. I feel like it's a paranoid game. Like, who are they to like make it their issue? It's like,
I also think that Ben necessarily didn't want to talk about it. Like, in my opinion, in his pregame stuff, he downplayed all his military stuff, and it's like the show was just like, give me more, come on, bring it out. And PTSD, from what I know, and I know very little of it, it's not always something you want to discuss.
Right.
So like, why are they just like, the jury had to coax it out of Ben, you know? And I don't know, it all seems just shady, and it leaves a sour taste in my mouth, and I don't want this to happen again.
Right.
Maybe Go Silent will be the best ever. It will restore our faith. There won't be any rigging. We'll see like awesome players just go out because that's the game. You know, it sucked when Malcolm got screwed by that twist in Game Changers. It sucked when he lost at 4th place. It sucked for Kelly Wentworth. But that's what was meant to happen. You can't change that.
So where's the season rank for you?
Yeah.
That's great. Okay.
Maybe a little higher because Devin was there and Lauren was there.
Better than Nicaragua? Which is worse, this or Nicaragua? Because Fabio.
You had 2 quits.
You liked Fabio.
I did like Fabio compared to who was left. It's low. It's real low. I think
Fabio got in Dalton Ross's thing. He got last place.
He did get last place, but let's do it again.
I wouldn't put him there.
Let's see where Ben ranks.
Yeah. Did you ever say if Devin could have done anything about?
No, Rob. I don't think he could have.
It's funny stuff. A couple funny things.
When Mike fell on the beach, that was the best part. That was the best part. That almost makes up for the horribleness of the finale, but it doesn't.
Okay, so here's a funny one. When Chrissy's talking to Ryan and Devin about who's gonna do the fire challenge, like Ryan's like, I couldn't beat him, and Devin's like, I know. That was pretty good. That's
what I love about Devin. Like, he was brutally honest.
Yeah.
But it's not something you expect from him.
He was brutally honest. Maybe not brutally honest. He was like straightforward.
He was straightforward. You don't typically expect like surfer bros to be that way.
Right.
But anyway.
Another funny one was at the beginning of the episode, he's like talking to the people, the first ones voted out of the game. He's like, Patrick's here, Allie's here, even Rourke's here. And Rourke was like, that was like ridiculous. I was like, what are you doing, Jeff? Like, don't be a dick. Even Rourke? That's just
even okay. Rourke.
Those are the only funny things I think.
Probst was also like, when Devin came out, he's like, oh, looking studly. It's like, keep it in your pants, Probst. Good Lord, I know you love, but chill, bro.
Challenges? Anything about the challenges you want to
I mean, the final 5 challenge was awesome. If it had continued the way it traditionally continues, it would have, been a great finale.
The final 5 challenge?
I'm sorry, final 4 challenge.
Right.
Was really
upside
good.
down U and yeah, it was intense. Like, yeah, Ben had that locked down and he just had one letter switched around.
The pressure gets to you.
Did you hear about how some people had S's upside down and supposedly those were
okay to be upside down because they read the same. I mean, an upside down U was clearly
it turns out
different letter.
Yeah, it turns out they had told the contestants those are the rules. Like if the letter looks the same upside down,
it's okay.
If it's an O, an H, and S, it's okay. Yeah. So there you go. You think of anything else from the finale you want to talk about?
I'm honestly really ready to forget this happened.
Call it a day.
Yeah.
So I'm glad we at least got on here to, share our thoughts, even though once again we're bitching, whining, naysaying. Yeah, maybe.
Hey, I bet there's never been more bitching after an episode of Survivor than this one.
Maybe. Maybe we're not the only ones this time.
And we can't sugarcoat it.
I remember in Ko Wrong, we were so anti-Michelle.
This is way worse than what happened in Ko Wrong.
Thought we were
a
little over the top. We're butthurt, I guess. We're butthurt people.
I would have been fine with Ben winning the traditional way. He wouldn't have been my favorite winner, but it would have been fine. It's the way it happened.
Yeah.
I'm not okay with.
He was handed a win on a silver platter.
And call us conspiracy theorists, but we're not the only ones thinking it.
Right. You want to talk a little bit about Ghost Island before we call this a day? Are you excited for the concept? Do you have any idea like what this is going to be about?
Honestly, no. I don't know what happens on Ghost Island. They get a cursed item, but there's like some vagueness about whether or not they can use it and what it's like. I don't know. To me, it sounds kind of like in season 19 of Big Brother where they went into the station.
Yeah.
That's kind of what it sounds like. And I don't like that. But I like the fact that they have so much history to rely on that they can bring it back into the game. That's cool.
Yeah, it looked like they had like a little like sort of temple hut thing.
They do. They have to sleep there, and they sleep. Jeff keeps all the snuffers from every season. They sleep under a ceiling of the snuffers.
No way.
Yeah, that snuffs out your torch. They sleep under that.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it sounds really cool. Ghost Island, way sexier title than Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. So they're off to a better start.
Yeah.
Let's pray for a better finish.
Yeah. And is it true? I thought I heard you saying something that all made up of fans.
That's what Probst said, but he's been known to lie.
Right. And I can see how they would try to cast it that way because if every contestant in the game has seen all these episodes where these, cursed advantages have placed, they're going to appreciate it a lot more, I think. So
I think so.
So yeah, that's interesting.
I'm super cautiously optimistic, but I can't say anything more than that.
Did you see any characters in the preview that jumped out at you or
no?
Saw this one dude with kind of an afro.
Okay.
Oh,
he's a super fan. He works for Inside Survivor.
That's the guy?
Yep.
See, I got a good vibe from him.
Yep.
There's your winner right there.
Jacob, that's his name.
He's going to win.
Winner of Ghost Island. Let's see him or if he really wins it.
If he earns it, yeah. So, anything else?
No.
Well, I guess that's it. We're calling it a wrap on Heroes, Healers, Hustlers. Thank you so much for listening all season long because I know you all did. You never missed an episode.
Never.
So you can follow us on Twitter at TV is our real mom. Thumbs up, a comment, a subscribe. And we'll see you guys next time.
Bye.
Have a good one.